Hello and welcome to today's episode. So we are cruising nicely, and remember from the last video that we had made, we can pick up stuff and put them in our bag. So that was cool until now we decided that instead of printing the items that we pick up, it would be cool to just put them in our bag instead of destroying them. So to add items in our inventory, basically our bag, we want to be able to keep track. If we've collected like 3 oranges or maybe 3 computer parts, it would be cool to add them to our bag and also keep track of them. So we had this list right here. We had like basically yours should be different. You should have like something like apples, oranges and stuff. Mine has like computer tech parts. Yeah. So remember, in our bag we want to be creating items and adding them. So it's important in the future that when we create crafting and other systems like maybe healing, it's important to like this is a good start. So to do that, I'll quickly go to our content browsers. Under blueprints, there is actors, interactables, and pickups, and then there's the data. I'll add a structure. This is just a combination of variables, let's say objects and lists. So we want to include this list in our structure and like keep track of it. So I'll go to blueprints and go to structure, and I'll name it struct items. So I'll quickly open that, and you'll notice it gives you like a default boolean to start with, but we want to create like members of our list, like the item list that we already have. So go ahead and name this item name. So this will allow us to get the list and set it in our structure. So I'll set it pick the list pickup, and then save that. We also want to get the amount that we have, the amount of items that we have in our structure. I'll go ahead and call this amount. And I'll change this to an integer, and also we might want to do like, just apart from doing the amount, we might want to do some icons for later. I'll just do like an image here or icon. So in the future, if you want to add like UI elements and visual elements, we can do this. So for now, I'll name it object. It's a type object, and save. So I'll go back to our bag and blueprints, components, bag, and create a variable of this structure. So I'll go ahead and create a variable and name it items, and then change the type to struct items. It's right here. And then another thing that I'll do is you can see it's only one item, so I'm going to change this to an array. So when we compile, and maybe we can add more and more items, so we can have like a list of items. So let's say if you want to organize our data, we can say I have 3 oranges, 3 batteries, 3 switches, and whatever. So I'll clear that up for now. And then I want these items, I want this array of elements to be updated every time I do pick an item. So the first update would be adding the data to our adding the information of what we just collected to our array. To do that, or I'll basically create another function, and in this function I'll name it update inventory, or let's just say add limit f add items. Then the input would be just like just the list. I'll just do a pickup, list pickup, and I'll say item name, compile, and I want this function to be called immediately we update an inventory. So I'll go ahead and connect this variable so that our input becomes like straight from what we picked. So I'll go into f items, and the first thing that we'll do here is basically try and check if we have items in our array. So I'd assume that we begin the game with an empty bag, so it doesn't have anything. So I'll do just a quick for each loop, and here's the trick. So this is very important if you're listening. So over here, we are going, for the first time, we're going to get like an empty array, and we won't do the loop body. So that's important for you to notice that. So for us to be able to maneuver, to make like a quick trick, it's just like a quick logical trick, you have to check for an item. I'd assume for the first it will just complete. So let me just show you. I'll just do a print string, and I'll say no items, right? So compile, and okay, it's prompting me to compile again, so I'll save that, and let's just double check it's okay. And when I go to pick this item, we see that's like the no item because it has completed, yet we don't have anything in the loop body, right? So to deal with that, I'd recommend to like assume every time that we complete this without going through the loop, we are adding a new item. So that's like the trick. To do that, just grab the item, so get, and set that to get items, and just say add unique. So here we are adding maybe our first or our newest item. So add unique is important because we are not necessarily, we won't be able to add if we use add, we'll just add that every time there is a new item it will be added. So we want to use add unique because if we use add unique, we won't be able to like duplicate like an array. So I'll add unique, and I'll say here, I'll grab this and say make item struct, and then I'll grab the item name, and I'll leave the icon empty as per now. And remember, when we add unique, we are always going to have we're always going to like not add another one. So we're just going to add that the only one at the amount needs to be 0. So I'll change this to 1 because we're already adding it, and when I hit, and before that I'll say let's get items and get a copy of that, and then take the index and basically print string what we've got, what we've added, that is. So break this and check the item name. Okay, you know what, I'll just like print everything. So I'll type here append, and then I'll print my message to be you added, then I'll put a space and get the item name, and I'll do another like full colon space and print the amount. So when we go and hit play and pick this one up, you see you've added 1 battery. But when I go and pick another one of another type, you can see you've added 0 batteries, right? That's not okay. Let me pick another one. You've added 0 batteries. So I'll go back and check why are we always getting the, it's because it's not unique, right? It's not unique. It's no longer unique. So if we add unique, we're always going to get like a return of 0. It's not unique. So to do that, let me just I know where the error is coming from. So you might notice that every time this completes, it goes here. But if I do a stupid thing here and say return node, compile and go to play, you can see you've added 1 battery, and when you go to this one, you won't be able to do like the addition, right? Have you got it now? So this is where we are going to be adding stuff. We are going to be adding stuff, and when we check, when we don't have anything, we're just going to assume it has completed and it has found nothing, and we are going to add a unique item. So to add an existing item, we are going to check if this specific item is found in our inventory. So for each loop, does compare each and every item that's in the array, and we can basically break this and check if the item is already in our if our item is already in our bag. So check if this enum equal, there is equal enum right here, and check if it's in the item. So just check here, and I'll arrange this a bit, and then do a branch, come back to it, and do our loop over here, and then this allows us to basically say, now remember our return node is a key factor in this function. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check if the item is true to any item, like for each loop, check if the name is the item name is matching with what we already have in the bag, and if it's true, we are basically going to update that, right? So get item and set array element, so it's right here, and so we're going to get the index from this array index. So it's important it needs to be this one. I'll move it up a bit, and then for the item I'm going to get this item right here, or maybe we could use like the item name. So I'm going to make item and over here, this is where we do the maths, guys. Over here is where we're going to update the amount. So the amount, we're basically going to be adding 1. We're just going to be adding 1 to each item that we pick. So make sure that we get this index again and get our items. Then we're going to say we are going to get a copy of our index. Remember, our index is right here. Drag it in here and make sure that we break. And we are only interested in the amount. That's the only thing that we are updating. So we are going to set this straight up there, and we're going to set the icon straight up here. And on the amount, we're just going to do a summation. We're going to add, and that's 1. And then compile that. So I'm going to do like a quick print string of that. And remember, our return node won't be connected to false at all. So I'll just get this index again. This is very important. Get the index and get a copy. Get a copy of that and connect to our index. Then we're going to do another print string over here, and this time we are going to, let's just copy these pen and do another break right here, or we can just right click and you can use the split pin. Connect this one with this one and connect the amount with this one. So instead of you added, I'll say you now have space, and I'll say let the amount come in front. I'll use the amount and I'll bring this downwards, and here I'll add space and another one here, and for grammar we can just add an S here. So we want to print a string where we are getting the number of items that we have, number of specific items that we have. So I'll hook that up and I'll hook this return node. This is our savior. I'll set it up over here, and I'll copy another return node and I'll add this over here. So this one, I'll say I won't be printing the amount. I'll only be saying that this for the first time we picked this specific item. So I'm changing this, remove this pin and print. You added -- for the first time. Cool. So compile, save that, and that's it. I think that's our whole function for adding stuff in our inventory. So I'll go ahead and hit play. So make sure everything is connected. Yeah, everything looks fine. If the amount is false, if the item is false, we won't be doing anything. If it's true, we're going to add it uniquely. So let's test it out. So when I hit play and go to our first item, press F, you can see you added batteries for the first time. That's dope. So I'll pick something else. You now have 2 batteries. Yeah, that's cool. And then when I hit this one, you now have 3 batteries, which is correct. This was a base introduction, so I won't pick that up. Go here and pick. You've added motherboard for the first time, which is correct. I'll press F again. You have 2 motherboards, which is correct. So I'll do another break here. I'll do another break right here, just for us to be able to see all those things. So this is our last pickup, so I'll go straight to it and press F, and you can see we just hit the breakpoint. So I'll go to our items, and you can see I have item number 0, index 0. I have batteries and the amount is 3, and item number 1, index number 1, I have like motherboard and the amount is 2. So that concludes our video for today. If you're new to this channel, or if you just find this content useful, go ahead and hit that like or subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.